What if I told you that you have exactly 8 weeks left to build a faceless YouTube automation business by January 1st, 2026? And while everybody else is waiting for the perfect time to start their YouTube journey, you could be building a real business right now. Because here's what most people don't realize. The end of the year is actually the best time to launch a YouTube automation channel, and I'm about to show you exactly why. Now, I know you're already thinking, Matt, there's no possible way that I could build a profitable YouTube channel within 8 weeks. But here's the thing. I'm not talking about doing a traditional YouTube channel. I'm talking about doing a faceless YouTube channel in a new way that allowed me to make $27,000 in a month from a channel that got only 166,000 views. Now, before I show you this exact 8-week plan, I do have to be 100% upfront with you that just because I got these results, it does not mean you will. I can't guarantee you'll make any money at all, obviously. YouTube does obviously still take a lot of work, but I truly believe that you will be in a much better position 8 weeks from now if you take action right now, if YouTube is seriously something that you want to do. I'm going to show you a proven framework that has worked for me. It's worked for a lot of my successful students, but your results will obviously depend on your effort and some other factors that are obviously outside my control. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down the exact 8-week blueprint that's helped thousands of people build profitable YouTube automation businesses, even if they're starting from complete zero. And I'm going to show you how to do this in a very slow way. I'm trying to be as conservative as I possibly can with this because I want to show you a worst case scenario. Even if you move super slowly, you could still have a fully operating YouTube business by the end of the year. So let's get straight into it, starting with the first 2 weeks, which will be our foundation and monetization setup. The biggest mistake that people make when they're starting a YouTube channel is choosing an entertainment niche that requires millions of views to make any sort of decent money. Now, I know this due to the fact that I've gotten millions of subscribers across channels that do exactly that, create entertainment videos similar to like top 5 videos or top 10 videos. And even though those channels can get a lot of views, they require a lot of views in order to make any decent money, and it's actually a lot easier if you choose what I like to call a money niche for your channel. Now, a money niche is simply a niche where people have expensive problems that they're willing to solve. So you want to choose a niche that's educational in nature. That's at least my recommendation. Obviously, I've had success with channels outside of education as well, but that channel I was telling you about earlier that made almost 30 grand within just a few months of starting the channel, that was an educational based channel. It's a lot easier to monetize a lot faster, which is why I call them money niches. Now, if you already have a niche, you just want to ask yourself, is this educational in nature? If it is, then that's good. And also look if there are other videos that have over 100,000 views on the niche that you're thinking about, which will prove to yourself that it can work. Now, if you have absolutely no idea which niche that you should choose, my recommendation is to find an overlap between something you're at least somewhat interested in and the following high CPM niches. Now, CPM is how much you make per 1,000 views, and we want to make sure that's as high as possible. So here are the highest CPM niches that I recommend, including business and entrepreneurship, personal finance and investing, health and wellness, productivity and self-improvement, technology and software, and travel. These are niches people have problems in that they're willing to pay for solutions for. And when it comes to choosing a niche, you don't just want to choose a broad category like health as a whole for your niche. Due to the fact that that's so broad, it's hard to get a foothold on any segment of that audience because you're going after everybody at the same time, and it's very hard to do that. Instead, what you want to do is choose what I like to call a sub-niche. Now, a sub-niche is just a subcategory of one of those broad categories that I just told you. So instead of doing health and wellness as a whole, consider doing something like calisthenics, which are like body weight exercises. For example, the channel Yellow Dude, which is a completely faceless YouTube channel, does that. They do incredibly well, millions and millions of views. And they've made their parent company that runs that channel millions of dollars likely. And that's partially because they chose a sub niche. So make sure you choose a sub niche of one of those bigger niches. If you need any help when it comes to choosing a niche as well, you can check out any of the videos that I've done here on my channel. I've gone over so many different amazing niches that you can go ahead and use. And also my YouTube software called TubeMagic has a niche explorer tool where you can see the top niches as well as how much they pay per 1,000 views, and they're in all of those categories that I just showed you. So your action for the first week will be to write down 20 things you know about and then see which ones overlap with any of these money niches that I just gave you. And if you already have a niche, just make sure it's good first. Then you're going to want to make a list of 12 different video ideas for your first month of content. This is super easy to do. Just go on other channels in your niche, see what their top viewed videos are, and then make a list of their top viewed videos. And bonus points if you find videos on smaller channels that still got a lot of views. For example, if you see a video that got 100,000 views on a channel with only 1,000 subscribers, that is an incredible idea to model. So you want to find 12 of those different ideas for your first month of content, because we're going to be posting 3 times a week on the channel, and that will be 12 videos. And then your action for week number 2 will be to set up monetization before you go ahead and you create any content. This is a huge problem that I see so many YouTubers fall into. They fall into this trap of thinking that they have to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time just to make any money from YouTube. That could not be further from the truth. You can actually monetize your channel from the first day you start it, but you need to set up monetization first, which is what we're going to do in the second week of this hypothetical example. So the best way of monetizing for the majority of people will be finding an affiliate product to promote. This is a product that you can promote that you get a percentage of every single sale that you refer. And since we're already in a good niche, it's going to be a lot easier to find these products and actually promote them. And the best places to find these products include Digistore24, ClickBank, the JVZoo Marketplace, and you can also just go to ChatGPT and ask for any products that would fit your specific niche. And you can also look at school communities, which are essentially communities that people pay monthly for. And if you find one within your niche, you can join it. And once you join them, then you can actually go ahead and promote them. Now, another totally valid way of monetizing is selling your own product. Now, I don't recommend trying to build an entire product. And the best type of product to sell is going to be an online course if you have any knowledge that other people would like to know. Now, if you're intimidated by the sound of a course, remember that a course is literally just a collection of videos that teaches somebody something in a chronological order. It really isn't that hard to make a course, but it can take a lot of time. So my recommendation would be to set up what's called an MVP of your online course, which is basically a discounted version of your program. You can sell this then before you ever even completely make the entire program. That way you get to market fast. You basically sell it at a discount, and then you can go ahead and add modules and add lessons and everything else to it. By the end of the year, then your program will be completely done, but it allows you to start selling it immediately. So that's another option as well. But for the majority of people who don't necessarily have a skill that other people want to learn, my recommendation is to choose an affiliate product. And now you might be thinking, Matt, how am I going to run an educational channel though? Even if I'm selling an affiliate product, how can I run an educational channel if I'm not a huge expert on that topic? You don't have to be an expert at all. Think of yourself as an information DJ. You're taking the information out there and you're DJing and remixing it in a new way and in a more valuable way. And I'll show you how to do that in this next part right now, where we're going to talk about week 3 to 4 of this process, which is going to be your content strategy and your money video. Now, I personally believe you could have done the things in the first 2 weeks that I showed you a lot faster than 2 weeks if you were really serious and you really wanted to go out there and do it. I'm just showing you a worst case scenario. This should be the absolute longest this process takes, in my opinion. So when it comes to week 3 and 4, we're going to outline your content strategy and what I like to call your money video. So your money video is basically a foundational piece of content that's going to live on your YouTube channel that showcases that your channel gives tons of great advice, and then it's going to promote your highest value offer, which will be likely that affiliate offer that we chose in week 1 and 2. And then every single other video that we upload on our channel after the money video is going to lead viewers back to the money video. And the way it does this is through something called end screens, which is basically a video that pops up at the end of your video that allows people to click to watch another video. I'll give you an example of that as well at the end of this video so you can see it in action. But the best way to think about your money video is a complete step-by-step guide on whatever the desired outcome of people who watch your channel would like to achieve. So for the example of this channel, Make Money Matt, the desired outcome for anybody watching these videos is to have a successful YouTube channel. So my money video on this channel is a step-by-step tutorial for starting a faceless YouTube channel the right way. Basically, it'll be a how-to video, and then you'll put in quotations step-by-step in the title. And within my program, Tube Accelerator, I go over the exact script framework for this, but just to give you it at a very high level for this video, essentially in this video, you want to go over a problem, then you want to agitate that problem and talk about why it's so important that people solve it, and then you go over multiple secrets that give the solution to that problem, and then you sell your paid solution at the end of it. This produces a video that gives people a ton of value, number one, but number two, it sells what you're selling so you can actually build a real business off of doing this. And this doesn't just make you a bunch of money either. This also benefits your channel because you're keeping people on YouTube, increasing a statistic called session time. This is how long people spend on YouTube after watching one of your videos. And if you keep people on YouTube for a long period of time, YouTube will give you all the views and subscribers that you could ever want, because at the end of the day, YouTube makes more money if people stay on the platform. So then once you have your money video, which is going to benefit you in terms of views and in terms of actual money that you make from your channel, and we're going to be monetizing from the very beginning. And that brings us to week 4, which your goal for it will be to have your money video completely done. You might be saying, Matt, am I going to have to sit behind a camera and film this money video? Not at all. My recommendation would be to create a slideshow for it. And in order to do this, there's a great AI software called gamma.app that allows you to create AI slideshows from a script. So you take your script, you put it into Gamma, and then it'll generate you an entire slideshow that you can go ahead and use, complete with visuals and graphics and everything else. And you can tweak it, take out certain images, put in others, and so forth. But this will give you a great video to do. Then you're going to do a voiceover on the video. You don't need any fancy equipment for this, by the way. You can literally just use your phone. That's what I used in the beginning as well. And that channel I was telling you about earlier that made almost 30 grand within just a couple months, it was completely faceless as well. I was literally just doing screen recording videos. And in terms of recording your screen, I recommend using a program called OBS. It's completely free for your computer. If you are using your phone for everything, you can just use your phone's built-in screen recorder app. Now, the reason this strategy is so much better than what everybody else teaches out there when it comes to YouTube is due to the fact that if you run a traditional YouTube channel, you'll be probably making anywhere from $5 to $10 per 1,000 views for the majority of niches, especially those really good ones that I just gave you right there. But that's from ad revenue, and ad revenue is kind of outside of our control. By selling something from our channel in the way that I'm showing you, it allows you to put monetization within your control. And it can allow you to make $100 to $1,000 per 1,000 views, which is what I'm able to do with my channels that I implement this on. So with proper monetization, you could have a channel getting 100K views, where with most monetization methods, you might make $1,000 or a couple $1,000, whereas with this method, I'm able to make $10,000, $20,000 plus dollars from a channel every single month like that. And now let's get into week 5 and 6, which will be the production of your main content. Now, the old way for doing this would be to spend $250 to $400 per every single video that you do on freelancers. That's a lot of money to be spending, especially in the beginning, and honestly, I don't really recommend it. Whereas the new way that I'm about to show you right now allows you to use AI tools to cut your costs by 80% while maintaining really good quality. So let me give you the AI toolkit that you can use for making actual great videos that can still do really well on YouTube. You don't want to be just making AI slop that doesn't give any value. So when it comes to doing a script for your video, there's a huge problem with using tools like ChatGPT due to the fact that they're just going to pull information from everywhere out there on the internet, and it's using all of that as training data, which is not going to give you very valuable videos, and it's not going to give you videos that are structured to actually do well in the YouTube algorithm. Plus, people can still kind of tell when stuff is written by ChatGPT or if it's not. Claude is a much better option for writing AI scripts, but the best option, which uses Claude on the back end, is my personal AI tool called TubeMagic. Now, the reason I made this tool was because I wanted the ability to put in context scripts where I could take videos out there from YouTube, say multiple other videos on the topic of the video that I was producing, put them in there as context scripts. Not only that, TubeMagic will also run all of this information through a bunch of the different best frameworks for writing great YouTube scripts, for keeping people on your videos as long as possible, which will help your videos out a lot in the algorithm. Plus, you can choose a word count, which you can't reliably do with ChatGPT or Claude by itself. So for all those reasons, I recommend TubeMagic for your scripts. That being said, you don't want to rely on AI 100%. Make sure to go through all of your scripts. And even though I use AI in my YouTube operations, I always have a QC person quality checking every single script before it goes on to the voiceover stage. Now, the voiceover is going to be the talking in your videos. And my recommendation for that is 11 Labs. You can find incredibly great voices on there that are indistinguishable from a real human voice. Now, I recommend not choosing the same voices that everybody else is doing because it becomes really repetitive and people just know you're using AI. My recommendation is to choose lesser known voices that you can find on 11 Labs. For example, my voice is on 11 Labs. If you'd like to use it, you can just search Matt and you can find it on there. It's a voice that's relatively unknown on 11 Labs, so you can do that, or you can clone your own voice as well, which I would definitely recommend. Now, for the visuals of your videos, you have several different options. options. Number one, we do slideshows, similar to what we did with the money video, and then we record our screen with OBS. Another option is to use stock footage in the background of our channels. There's tons of different channels out there, like Cruise Like a Pro, which is a channel that gives cruise tips and tricks, Passport Pro, which gives airport tips and tricks, Stoic Journal, which goes over stoicism and philosophy, self-help type of videos. What all of these channels have in common is they have stock footage playing in the background of the videos as somebody does a voiceover. Now, if you want to do those types of videos, I built another AI tool called vid.ai, which allows you to generate full 20-minute videos literally in a couple of minutes. It will save you so much time, save you so much money as compared to signing up for stock video subscriptions and then paying people to do it. Or if you're doing it all yourself, editing with something like CapCut, which is certainly a valid option, you're going to be spending so much time, and your time is worth something. It would be much better spent focusing on the higher level things when it comes to running your channel instead of being in the weeds editing every single video. So vid.ai can do that all completely for you. And if your videos are giving value, if you're using something like TubeMagic for the scripts, AI is completely allowed on YouTube, and you can definitely do that, but you need to make sure that your videos aren't spam and they are actually giving value, which these tools will allow you to do. Now, thumbnails are a cover image for your videos, and I recommend either Canva or Snappa for making those. You can also easily pay somebody on Fiverr or Upwork to make those for you as well. Get a really good designer for doing that. Speaking of outsourcing also, if you wanted somebody to just do this all for you and basically make these videos for you from scratch, I do have a personal content team that I give access to everybody in my program Tube Accelerator if that's something that you're interested in. So week 5 and 6 will be building up your backlog of videos that you're going to start uploading on YouTube. Now, you can choose if you want to start uploading these videos immediately. That's typically what I recommend. So my recommendation is, as soon as you start getting some videos done, to start uploading them. And then for managing all of this, I recommend Trello. You can set up a Trello board and you can keep track of the progress of your videos as they're moving along an assembly line, so to speak, for doing that. So then finally, by week 7 and 8, you will have a fully operating YouTube business that's actually monetized. And by those final 2 weeks, it'll allow you to start seeing the data that's coming in from those initial videos. Now, I don't recommend getting too down in the weeds on this data, especially when you're just starting, due to the fact that it's not very statistically significant, especially in the beginning of your channels. So my recommendation is to kind of ignore the statistics and the analytics and everything else until you have several months worth of content. So then getting into January, you'll have so much great data, and you'll be getting to the point where you have been uploading for quite some time on your channel, at least several weeks, to start getting some good data. But always make sure that you model what has worked on YouTube. Now, let me tell you why the end of the year is actually a really good time for starting a YouTube automation business. Number one, you typically have very high RPMs, which again is how much you make per 1,000 views. And this is due to the fact that so many companies are advertising for the holidays that this drives CPMs and RPMs up. So it gives you the opportunity to make more. Now, even if your channel isn't built out to the point where you have viral videos and you benefit from that, at the very least, you will be building it for next year as well, and you benefit from the psychology advantage for yourself that while everybody else procrastinates towards the end of the year until January, you have a head start. You'll already have your channel started, and you do not need a big audience if you're doing YouTube in the way that I'm showing you right now to potentially start making some decent money from the channel. You literally just need 10 to a couple hundred people that are actual engaged viewers to potentially start making money. And if you think that, look, I'm not an expert, why is anybody going to trust me and everything else? Look at channels like Zinni Studio or that Yellow Dude channel. These are literally AI avatar channels that you could generate using something like ChatGPT, generate these avatars, doing a bunch of different poses, edit them all together using something like CapCut. You can make these videos as well. Your audience does not need you to be the world's most top expert on something. They need good information. And if you use tools like TubeMagic to give them that information, that is how you can potentially succeed like crazy on YouTube. Now, you might also be thinking, look, 8 weeks isn't enough time. It's not even worth it. I'm not going to start. Think about the fact that traditional businesses take years to make any kind of consistent income or anything else. I'm literally giving you an 8-week blueprint to jumpstart your YouTube business. Even if you don't make any money, you're going to be in a very good position at the end of these 8 weeks. And by January, you're going to have a proof of concept while everybody else is just starting. So you have 2 paths that you can go down. Path number 1 is to wait until January, like everybody else does, spend months trying to figure it out, and then probably still be in the same place next year. Or you have path number 2, which is to start now, have a validated business model by the new year, and potentially be set up to be making money while everybody else is still just planning. The worst case scenario here is that you learn valuable skills, you have content assets, And even if your first attempt doesn't work perfectly and you don't get 10 million views and become a multimillionaire from YouTube, you're still worlds ahead than where you would be if you did nothing. And the best case scenario is that you build a business that could actually generate you a lot of income. Now, if you say, Matt, I want to do path number 2, I'm serious about this, and I want the best information for doing this, and I want a step-by-step checklist, and I want access to your content team, and I want access to someone who's actually been doing this for 10 years, then you can check out the link down in the description to book a call with my team to see if Tube Accelerator could be a good fit for you. And as I told you as well, I'm going to be linking to a very long video on my channel right here. As you can see, this video popping up right here is my Pillar Money video on this channel, and it's also basically a free course for doing YouTube in this way as well. I think that if you're serious about doing this, it's really important that you go through videos like this to get as much information as possible as you're starting over the next 8 weeks. My name is Matt Parr. Hope you got value from this, and I will see you there.